Hello everybody and welcome to the United States Grand Prix here at Circuit of the Americas. My name is Alan Cavanaro and I'm alongside Nick once more, like we said, for the United States Grand Prix for round 17 for F1 TS Sub. Nick, I haven't been here last week. Want to do a little rundown of what happened at Suzuka, the Japanese Grand Prix, before I begin qualifying?
Yeah, I mean, usually the Japanese Grand Prix isn't the most exciting one on the calendar. Well, it hasn't been at F1 TS Hub, but they didn't disappoint last week, and Learning the Wheel took his first win, which was amazing stuff. Flair returned to the podium, and Bisas crashed out. He had an incident with Sean on the opening lap, and then it all went wrong for him. Luckily, MLA only finished 4th, so the points gap didn't close too much. But it's 15 points, and Cloudy finished 5th as well, so that was a career best for him at F1 TS Hub.
Thank you for the little update. Like we said, we have 15 drivers today as we begin qualifying. So yeah, if anyone was curious, I wasn't here last race, which was a disappointment. I was happy for Japan. I really like that track, but now I'm finally here at home. So that is a little bit of a pleasure here at Circuit of the Americas. Like I said, 15 drivers. I said 20, but again, 5 not here. So 15 full drivers for qualifying today. And Nick, you're telling me last week we saw the return of Flair in this league. If anyone didn't know, earlier this season he was running in the Williams, and now he is finally back in the league, but driving the McLaren for the end of the season deal. Also, we have Enact, obviously learning the wheel. There's D90, Black Mumbai, SBL, Mally Kekik, and field. We also have Planet Balloons, Beastaz, James Slater, Sam Jor, MLA, Lauren, Sean, and Rex. So yeah, that does the grid for the 15 drivers we have here today for the United States Grand Prix. Do you have any expectations going into qualifying? Because most of the time we usually see Beastaz on the front row. Do you think that's going to be the same thing today?
Yeah, I think Beastaz is going to be quick here, so it'll be interesting to see whether anyone can sort of challenge him. We know Flair's quick, we know Mally's quick, we know Black Mamba's quick, and of course you've got the 2 Mercedes, so it's all to play for. And looks a little bit cloudy up there, so perhaps there's going to be some rain later in the session. We'll have to wait and find out, but everyone's either on an out lap or on a flying lap, and I'm pretty excited to as we get a big slide there for Mally, completely off, and that's his lap ruined. He'll have to turn the fuel down and either go again or head back for a fresh set of boots.
Looking at the sky, and not too many blue patches in the sky. Do you think, I mean, Moonshot would definitely impact the qualifying grid order, so that's why a lot of drivers, I mean, every single driver in this Grand Prix today are out on the circuit trying to set a lap before we begin this thing, or at least before the end of qualifying. Which is, advised to some of these drivers, because, like you said, well, I'm not sure if rain is either going to fall now or in 5 minutes, or there's a chance it might even not fall at all. So, really, it's sort of surprising to see every single driver out on the track, because usually some drivers will go out first, some drivers will go out a couple minutes later. All the drivers went out at once, and there's clouds forming in the sky. Could be a little hint of some rain, but across the line, 2 drivers across the line as Black Mumbai and Enact. Fastest lap time for the Sauber, 1:33.6, puts him on the front row along with Enact with 7, almost 8 minutes remaining. And running aboard Black Mumbai, he's pushing that car through the corners as Jor slides into P2, and that is 1.4 off the pace. As Sean, fastest lap time by a little more than half a second over Black Mumbai. And the Silver Arrow, he pulls up to that front row starting grid. And a good lap from him. We have 7.5 minutes remaining, and Flair slides into P3, and it's sort of surprising to see Flair 9/10 down. I mean, I get it's a Baker lap, but I mean, when we started this season, it was Williams 1-2 almost. I mean, we had Bisaz and Flair there battling up towards the front, 2 Williams, and they really showed equal, I wouldn't say equal pace, but they're pretty close to each other. Now, I mean, Bisaz is a 1:32.4. Flair's time is 1.4 seconds behind. So really, I think he's going to really need to improve that lap time towards the end of qualifying.
I can shed some light on that, Alan. First of all, he's actually using a wheel now, as Learning the Wheel pops it into 4th place. Speaking of learning a wheel, and yeah, he's learning a wheel, so he's got a bit of work to do to try and get to. He's already said that he's not at the pace that he was on the pad, which he's used for his whole racing career. So yeah, that's one of the reasons. But last week in Japan, he wasn't too far off, maybe 7 or 8 tenths, and then all of a sudden he improved, and I think he started in the top 3. I know he got really close to Beasthast or Sean, who got pole. But also Alan, last week it was separated by under a tenth again, the top 2 in pole position. So perhaps we're going to look forward to what has been a regular occurrence in qualifying between the top 2.
Yeah, maybe maybe like that. I mean, I could definitely see it, like Beasthast showing up there. Oh,
that's the pit entrance. Pit entrance, Alan.
I don't see that too often.
Pit entrance. So he's binned it. That's the Ferrari done for the session. 1.497 off pole position, and we did see someone crash there earlier in the podium tier, which ended their race. So perhaps just carrying a little bit too much speed and can't quite get the car slowed down.
I can definitely agree with that. SBL has left the session. Hopefully he's able to join back, or else, not the best time you would have imagined. And yeah, he's only 4 tenths off of Beasthast, but I feel like the car has a lot more potential of what we saw in previous races. But SBL is out of the session. We'll wait for him to join back. Beasthast into the pits, following. I think it was someone else in the pits that jumped him right at it. Could have been his teammate. I thought it was. So it looks like everyone else is in the pits. Rex is still out there, setting a lap time, so we can keep an eye on him because everyone else is still in the pits. Jor's actually out also. Forgot to point that out. So Jor and Rex are out on the track, and riding on board. Rex has not set a lap time yet today, but that is yet to change as he's on a flyer at the moment. Actually, we missed the apex. I'm not sure if he's on an outlap.
I think he's on an outlap. Yeah. Yeah, Jor was actually up in that middle sector, but then he came into the pits, Alan. So perhaps maybe a corner cut or something. It is difficult here. Corner cutting's on strict for Austin, and that first sector can start sting if you try to push your car a little bit too much. But Beasthast, provisional pole position. The rain hasn't started if it was meant to come. Just a little bit cloudy up above. And speaking of cloudy, he's in 12th position. And Sam's the first driver to come back out on the track. Just under 4 minutes left. And it's going to be a fascinating fight for pole position and just generally the top 10.
I mean, I could definitely see that. It actually looks, now look at the sky. I mean, I'm starting to see some more blue patches in the sky, so that is some good news. I mean, even also some good news, SBL back in the session. Beasthast up in the front row, like you said, 4 tenths difference. We have 3.5 minutes remaining. Some drivers going back out on track for an outlap. That is Flair back out on track with a next. So is Lawrence. Lawrence is back out there. Sam is going back out on the racing surface. He has not set a lap time either yet today. Again, that is yet to change. Rex is still in a lap time. Riding on board. And actually, I think he just came across the line and he had an invalidated lap time. So like you said, corner cutting is on strict, so he may have gotten caught on his first run. So he's have to go into a little bit more worn tires and set that final lap. Missing the apex, but swings in, gains momentum off the corner. And Rex headed down the DRS straight, open DRS now. And we'll let Salvin go down the back straight and we'll check and see where Rex is in just a moment. Sean is out on the track. Black Mumbai follows also. And Flair about to start his lap time. I believe so.
Yeah, lots of drivers out there now. Beast just coming out as well, so it's just MLA learning the wheel. James in the pits currently. Everyone else is out on track, and it is a track here. You want to get yourself a bit of clean air. If you catch someone through the first or the final part of the lap, it can affect the downforce, affect the turn-in of the car. So clean air is important here, but you'd never say no to a bit of DRS slipstream down one of the straights. Here comes Rex. We've ridden on board with him all lap. He's going to exit the final corner, a bit of a tank slapper, crosses the line, and it pops him into 10th position. So that is going to be his session over. He doesn't have enough fuel to do another lap, so gets out of the way of the Red Bull, and he'll be driving slowly back to the pits.
So that ends his day, and one car's off. That is Cloudy Balloons. Cloudy Balloons off to the side, and Rex has retired. And right as he sets a lap time, has 1.7 seconds off the pace. And and many other cars slowing down, like I said, Cloudy Balloons off to the side, slowing down, finally going back up, and off the track then is Sam, letting by a car.
Driver's being very polite, Alan, I think, letting the others through, so no one trying to hold anyone up here in the Pinnacle tier. And Flair just riding aboard with him. He's just in the final sector, just past the Williams. I wonder if that was his old teammate. He's got another car ahead of him. I believe it's another Williams. So he's got this final sector to take, and the blind second to last corner, really hard to hit the apex, but does it perfectly. This looks like a good final sector from the McLaren driver, and this will be his final lap. He won't get another crack at it. Gets a bit of slipstream from his teammate, pops into fourth, 7/10 of a second off provisional pole.
B-Sass with the final corner. He's going to start a storm of a lap, crosses the line up to 6th gear, and B-Sass will be starting his lap time. And yeah, Flair just passed B-Sass right before the final corner. Flair retires. He's satisfied with P4. That is 7/10 off the pace of B-Sass. And MLA down in 5th. He is on one final lap with 20 seconds remaining here at Circuit of the Americas for qualifying SBO. 4/10 off the pace of B-Sass, calls it quits. Right now it is, oh no, B-Sass is off. B-Sass is off, and something must have gone wrong. He must have eliminated his lap or something, because he was on a flyer, and, well, now he's not. So he's pulled up to the side. That ends his day. Sean across the line.
Oh, he's improved.
1/10 improvement.
Here comes MLA, his teammate on the back straight. Black Mamba is also on another quick lap, but he's down, so that's his lap over. Learning the wheel, you've also got to come through. James Slater, saw a bit of dust kicking up there. Not sure whether that cost him time or not. And then you've got a few guys outside the top 10 also set a lap time. What can MLA do? Can he get any closer to his championship rival? 15 points separate them heading into this race. We are around 17, and we've only got 3 after this one. 100 points up for grabs, Alan. MLA needs to join his championship rival anywhere near than closer than where he is now.
Yes, we're going back to right on board. Oh no, MLA! Oh, he ran wide. He's on a fantastic lap time, and it goes down in shambles as MLA will not improve. Learning the wheel, however, he is coming to the end of his lap time. Across the line, learning the wheel up to P3, ahead of MLA, an incredible lap time. And next, it's down to James Slater in the final sector, and he's
Sam goes 8th.
It's Cloudy Balloons, the only one left that can really set a lap time. Final corner for Cloudy Balloons. Needs to hit the apex. What can he do? Cross the line. Balloons up to P12. That ends qualifying, in B-Sass on the pole position once more.
So same grid as last week, I believe. And these two are going to head into turn 1. Alan, they had contact at turn 1 last week, and it resulted in Beastap eventually ending up in the wall. So I got a feeling there's a little bit of an untold story there that we're going to see the ending of, maybe when we head towards the first corner tonight.
Yes, it may end that way as the pro drivers. And when I say some drivers, I mean nobody, because this game just likes to count down so you can see the pit lane. I'm not sure if UCAT see the pit lane. You can see hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people sitting above, and that's actually quite a lot of people. Never really imagined it. You know, right now gives us a good look, a good chance to look around the pit lane, look around the track, see how much detail there actually is. I never really noticed it. You can look above the people that are sitting above the pit lane. There's another deck of people up there. So a lot of people ready and excited to watch today's United States Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas. By the way, next week, if anyone's curious, I believe we'll be at the Mexican Grand Prix, which is the 18th round of the season. It'll be a good one, of course, as well as this one. Like I said, MLA and B-Sass are two protagonists in this championship. It's going to come down to the wire in Abu Dhabi, which is the finale. But here is our qualifying order. It is going to be B-Sass, Sean learning the wheel, SBO Malik, Flair, MLA, Black Mumbai, Sam, D90, James Slater run out the top 10. Go down a couple more drivers. We have Rex, Clyde Balloons, Lawrence, and Ekton Jor rounding out the top 15. Do you have any predictions for the race, Nick? Because everyone qualified on the Ultra Soft tires, but drivers from 11 to 15 can change those tire compounds.
Yeah, you're looking at a one stop here. A two stop, it doesn't really, it's not really the best way to go. But the undercut is also worth a lot, so it'll be interesting to see who boxes early and tries to get that advantage. But I have to say, learning the wheel up there in third and MLA down in sixth, so contrasting results for those two. I think one's done really well, and MLA perhaps to be a bit disappointed with that position. But as you said, Alan, we saw him go wide at the penultimate corner, and it seems to have cost him perhaps a couple positions on the grid at least.
It may have been like that, but we're about to begin the Grand Prix, and it is a bright sunny day, not a cloud in the sky here in Circuit of the Americas, and we're about to begin the United States Grand Prix for F1 TS Sub, and of course we always have the formation lap, and well, it's going to be a good Grand Prix, I would have to say. I mean, this track is very flowing. I mean, if anyone tried to create a good track, I mean, in sort of the modern world today, one that just came out, this track came out in 2012, around that time. That's when the first Grand Prix was here, and it's pretty good. I mean, I would start out turning with a hairpin, and you have an S section, a couple windy corners at the long back straight. Sector 3 really reminds me of a street circuit where the corners are tight, and you have to ring around the corners, and you know, the three right-handers in the third sector really reminds me of Turkey. I don't know why, but it really does, compared to the left-hander that the track had back in Istanbul. Fantastic track. It's a shame it's not on the calendar anymore. I love that track, but now we're at the Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix, and like I said, it's going to be a good one. Let's go down the grid order once more. You have Beastaz, our pole sitter and championship leader. Hopes to extend his points lead at the end of this round. Sean in second. I mean, he's a second driver for Mercedes, but nonetheless, he's a fantastic one and stands third in the points. Down in third is learning the wheel for Ferrari. Looks to get a podium today as he qualified barely outside the front row. Down in fourth, SB O'Malley kicking again a fantastic Singapore Grand Prix from first all the way into a podium spot. And now he's up in fourth place and looks to get a podium today. He's lurking. He's one position behind the podium spot. Down in fifth place, he was Beastaz's teammate in Williams at the beginning of the season, but it's not like that anymore. He's back in the league from last week. He's racing in a wheel, and the color scheme has changed. He's now in a McLaren with the black and orange. He stands in P5. Will he have a chance at the podium? We will see. Down in six is MLA, the other championship protagonist. He's not used to qualifying in sixth place, but race pace at the very end, he comes in clutch and usually slides into a good spot, so I wouldn't look at MLA till the last couple of laps. Down in seventh, Black Mumbai in Sauber. I believe he ended up winning the Singapore Grand Prix a couple of races ago, and ever since then he's really had a chain of couple races, so look out for him. Sam Sturr down in 8th place. I mean, a good, decent lap time for him, and a decent place to be in for the Force India driver. Hasn't done much this season, but has a couple races left this season to try and change that around. D90 in 9th again. Ferrari haven't had the best of season, but with a couple races remaining, the team looks to at least get a couple podiums before the season end. And finally, rounding up the top 10, it is James Slater in the Renault. And, well, he's just looking to get a couple points today. Not the fastest lap time, but, again, he does have many challenges behind him, and he's going to be fiercely fighting for a single point. And that concludes the top 10 and the grid for the United States Grand Prix as everyone files up here at Circuit of the Americas.
Just quickly point out, Alan, that Rex in 11th has chosen the super soft. Cloudy's also chosen the supers. Lawrence has gone for the soft, the only driver to do so. Enika has gone for the supers, and then Jorah's gone for the ultras. So those starting outside the top 10, that's the tyres they're on. And it was a clean start in the podium tier. Will it be another one here tonight in the Pinnacle tier? Take it away, Alan.
Yes, here we go for the 5 red lights for Circuit of the Americas. It's time to bring the action in the United States and work rain. And everything's bigger in Texas, and the start was just as big. Beastaz defends up the inside. There's 4 wide, and everyone trying to make a champ up at the lead. There's Bean and Bacon. Off goes a Ferrari spinning. There's 4 wide in the background. A couple of cars losing their front wing, and they're going 4 wide as he approaches the S section. And man, oh man, Lawrence. Oh, there's a Sauber spinning in the background. And there's Black Mumbai. Oh, and a Force India spinning as well. That must be Sam. He's around and facing the right direction once more. And back on the track as Black Mumbai has retired, losing a tire. must have came into contact with the Force India, but on the opening lap, it is Beastaz and Sean and MLA. And MLA has gained 3 positions off the race start. Flair dropping down 2, and T90 getting by Rex, and that is Black Mumbai leaving the session in frustration. Not the best start he would have imagined for the United States Grand Prix.
Virtual safety car, Alan. Quick few things I picked up from the start there. Sam was actually up to 4th position, so I think whether he had a contact or an incident, but he definitely obviously caught Black Mamba up in that, and they both fell right to the back of the grid with the Sauber ending his race there and then. MLA slung it down the inside and just kind of forced everyone to allow him room up into 3rd, so be interesting to see whether there's any team orders between the 2 Mercedes there. And Beastaz, yeah, kept a good getaway. It's been pretty easy for him to get through the first sector without any trouble with a clean air. But who are also our bigger gainers? Jaw's up 7 positions, Cloudy Balloons is up 6, Virtual Safety Car's in, and we're about to get underway again. But not the cleanest start, but it was definitely entertaining as Beastaz gets a tank slapper on the exit. Is this going to give Sean a chance?
Yes, we approach turn number 1. Your mic cut out. I'm sorry if I interrupted you, but your mic just cut out midway through your speaking. And, well, Sean did have a chance at it, but as we approach the S section once more, Beastaz still leads by 4/10. Sean ahead of MLA, and MLA not too far behind, and SBL actually pretty close to MLA, so these 4 drivers really do have a shot at it. Though behind SBL, you have Cloudy Balloons in 5th. That gap is a lot bigger, and Cloudy Balloons holding up a tad bit of a train here, as you can see, with the Williams leading it. It is Cloudy Balloons under the wheel, Flair and Jor as the caboose of this thing. As you can see, you can ride on board of Flair. You can really tell these cars are starting to bunch together down the street. That may change off the corner. Not the best exit for Cloudy Balloons. Riding on board with the Ferrari, learning the wheel. They'll probably make a move at the end of this straight. A look to the inside on the better compound. Will be an easier move done for him. Approach the inside of the corner. Will he stick it there? Will he give him just enough room? He runs him just off. Flair's now going to try and go around the outside on the ultra soft tires on the wheel. Will it work out for him? Around the outside, he'll sling it back down to the inside. He'll have the advantage against Williams and Cloudy Balloons. He's defenseless as he hits the back end of Flair. And now Jor's going to be a witness of this one. And Cloudy Balloons starting to fall down like a rock. Gets passed by 2 cars in 1 sector, but he's not done yet. Looking back to the outside, he gets hit by Flair, and around the outside, gets hit once more as he runs off the track. Will he be able to make a move in the final corner? Looks to the inside, cuts the corner. Beastaz fastest lap on Cloudy Balloons and P7, and there goes Jor up the inside as he approaches the main straight. Lap number 3, wheel to wheel. Jor into P7 as they beat and bang wheels as we approach the first corner. Jor gets by, and into P7 he goes. And clears Cloudy Balloons, and Cloudy, whoa, that was Cloudy with the chance of meatballs, to say the least.
Yeah, spaghetti and meatballs definitely as we go through this section, but Alan, fantastic racing, it has to be said. Defending and attacking from these guys, wheel banging, and they didn't leave much on the table. Yeah, James Slater was in D90, and Rex were also having a little battle as well, as Rex comes into the pits with Sam, so they were having a battle just behind us. Cloudy Balloons touches the...
Goes Cloudy!
Oh, he saved that as well. What a save that was! So he can defend, attack, and now save the car from a slide as Beastaz extends the lead to just over a second, and Jaw closes in within DRS of Flair. And yeah, Lawrence, look at him now all over the back of Cloudy Balloons. Here we go. This is one of my favourite braking zones on the entire F1 calendar. Slings it down the inside. Can he hit the apex? He can. Cloudy's going to come for the cutback. If you can hold it around the inside here, you can go down the inside. Sorry, the outside. It's just a fantastic section of track, which, oh, there's contact between the two, and wing damage for both. The barrier's fallen down as well. That's how hard they hit it. I'm not too sure. I think that was, I don't know, but looked to me like perhaps Cloudy Balloons touched the Toro Rosso, Alan. He's missing a front wing, and unfortunately Lawrence now has wing damage himself too.
I mean, yeah, it definitely could be that. I think this is a racing incident because obviously neither driver wanted to take each other out. They were battling pretty hard up until that point, and not much room given, to be fair, but at the same time, a move should have not been done. I think it was in the hands of both drivers to be prevented, but into the pit stop 4, new front wing and a new set of tires that is going to be the soft compound.
Look at Sam versus Rex. fantastic racing here. They just almost went side by side, Alan, through that corner from Turkey that you like. And now they're exiting the final corner on the calendar. And a bit of DRS perhaps, yeah, for Rex. And they've both passed Cloudy as he's in the pits. Rex slings it down the inside.
The inside.
Oh, touches the Force India. What a dive bomb that was. But yeah, a little bit of contact, but no harm done. And he'll have to give it another go. Perhaps on the DRS straight. But look at this, learning the wheel now, right in DRS behind Mally. Here we go into the heavy braking zone. What's he going to do? Try the outside? No. Is he going to try the cutback? Mally having a good season since he joined F1 TS Hub. And as I said, this part of the track really is wide, really gives you opportunities to go on the inside or the outside. But unfortunately, learning the wheel has to pull out of that one as he almost runs into the back of the McLaren.
I mean, SBL really has had a good season so far. I mean, when he joined F1 TS Hub ever since. And yeah, I mean, good fourth place running. And, you know, it's going to definitely reward him. Go up with Beast has, still leading by 1.5 seconds. Second is Sean, third is MLA, fourth, and Mally, and fifth is learning the wheel. And there definitely most likely will be a move as diving up the inside. And missing the apex is Mally in yellow in sector 3. That is, Lawrence hitting the pit wall. Second victim to the pit wall. And I can't believe I'm saying that again. I didn't think the pit wall would be more of a victim than any other car out there. But he's got to not only put on a new set of tires, but repair that front wing.
Learning the wheel is all over the back of that McLaren, really making sure he nails his exits. I'm not sure, I think that McLaren's got some good straight line speed because Learning the wheel struggles to close up on the straights, and it's more on corner exits, so a good rear end on that Ferrari. And look, he's got the two behind now. Flair and Jor also there within DRS, so this is about to become a four-way dance into the long back straight. Yeah, as I mentioned, the McLaren does a good straight line speed. Learning the wheel goes down the inside, slings it very late indeed. Is the McLaren going to get the cutback? Yes. Can the other McLaren now sneak through? This is going to be interesting. Is there just enough room on the inside? Mally leaves him. Oh, a bit of a slide, and now Flair's down the inside of Learning the wheel, almost touches his teammate. Side by side, the Ferrari and the McLaren both sliding it on exit of the corner, and it looks like the Ferrari's just kept the position.
Yeah, he's able to just get by, and all of a sudden here comes Jor out of nowhere, trying to make up a move on Flair, diving to the inside, making contact with the wheel, loses the back end, and you could tell that was on the pad for sure. Not the easiest to save on the pad compared to the wheel, but still a fantastic save from Jor. That was sort of a break from Mally and Learning the wheel, due to the fact that it seems to be that Mally was obviously faster than the Ferrari, but he was not able to get by. Put up a desperate move, and Flair caught him out. So did Jor, believe it or not. As Sean gets a 3-second time penalty. As already that gap between them is 2 seconds. 2 plus 5, or 2 plus 3 is 5. So that would definitely hurt the chances of a Sean or MLA due to the fact that their gap between each other is so big. But again, the back end of Mally's getting caught by the Ferrari. It's a matter of time before he's able to get by. But again, taps the back end, and now he's going to be able, losing the back end, and now this time Flair's going to get by easily. DRS is available, and weaving down the straight is Mally to try and avoid slipstream, but there goes Flair. He's going to try and lunge it up the inside, but around the outside, Learning the wheel, maybe the switchback, but just hits the back end and runs wide. Oh, he lost all the momentum he had there, and Flair is up and back inside the top 5.
Yeah, and the McLaren's high-fiving if they could reach each other. That was a well-executed move by the team. Meanwhile, Cloudy and Rex are absolutely battling positions all the way through the first sector. Cloudy slung it down the inside of turn 1. Rex got him back through the S's. And now somehow Cloudy's got back down the inside with DRS coming down the main straight. So into the braking zone is Rex going to sling bun down the inside. No thinks better of it. They got Lawrence behind about 5 seconds for company after his pit stop. And Sam also within DRS and Eniket. So Alan is fantastic racing so far tonight.
Up the inside, banging through, Jor hits Learning the wheel off, and Jor is up to 6th place. He caught him out thinking, he caught him out sleeping, and he just fumbled his way through and took P6. And that was, well, caught him off guard to say the least, and Learning the wheel, well, now he's going to have to take some notes, go back thinking, and try and find another way around Joris. He quickly gains back the time he just lost on him. So maybe with the next 2 laps, he'll find a way back around Joris, Sam, and Anect. Going at it off turn 1, and Anect had a slight problem off turn 1, and Sam is back inside the top 10.
Here comes Jor Allen.
By the way.
Jor got to defend now. Learning the wheels got a good exit. I missed that one, but by the sounds of what you said, it looked amazing. I'm not exactly sure what happened. What corner was it at? Here comes Learning the wheel back down the inside into the long straight. Jor's going to get a better exit though, and it's going to be side by side surely through this next corner. Can they keep it clean? Yeah, they can. They touch wheel against side pod. Is Jor going to sling it back down the inside into this turn 8 like corner they're about to enter? Learning the wheel looks to have got the job done, and wow, fantastic racing back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah. In turn 1, it was Jor that made a dive-bombing move to get by and pummeled his way through. Just literally ran in the Ferrari off track. So a little revenge a little lap later to try and get by. Learn the wheels. Now going to try and reel in Flair, as Flair's trying to get by his teammate Mally. As he approached turn 1, will he try the same move up the inside? Maybe a lunching move from Flair. I know him very well. He might do it, but thinks better of it. And stays behind his teammate. I mean, yeah, it is his teammate. I think that's probably the reason why he's not doing anything about it. But the way I see it right now, Mally needs to stay ahead of Flair. Or at least, if that's the case, or keeps holding him up, I would just let him buy little team orders so they don't hold up the teammate. You know, better for the team, because then there's a chance that Learning the wheel could reel back in, and less constructive points for the team at the end of the day. Yeah, you're riding aboard a Flair, having a little problem to try and get by Mally, and you can see the Ferrari in the background, gaining rapidly. Will he try and move down to the inside? He's not even trying to pass his teammate.
This DRS move.
His car down.
DRS surely here. And just to mention, James Slater came into the pits that lap. He put on the super soft tires, so that's definitely going to be a 2-stop for him. As it'll be interesting now to see who's going to go for the 1 and who's going to go for the 2. I'm sure the 1 is quicker, but as I mentioned, Alan, the undercut is worth a lot here.
Yes, I mean a lot of tracks, the undercut is worth a lot because you're not really in the dirty air compared to everyone else who's staying out a couple laps later. But not only that, but you know, you're on new tires in clean air compared to the fact that you're on old tires in dirty air. So really, it does a huge amount for you to try and gain some extra time. And yeah, it definitely could pay off for some drivers. Lap 9, and Mally into the pits as we speak. Oh, and it's a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting in the pits. That most likely should get removed. There's no possible way you can corner cut into the pits. And I'm not sure if you saw that too, but I don't think that 3-second time penalty is fair, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I can only think that he got a warning from it, and he's already had 2 previously, which has given him the penalty. But for sure, there's no real advantage or corner to cut coming in there. There's just the white paint on the inside and outside. So be interesting to see if he has any footage of that. And of course, if he does and feels that he didn't deserve it, then more than welcome to head over to the stewards. Which of course will be open after the race. Our stewards work tirelessly every weekend to make sure they resolve any incidents that the game has either caused or hasn't been able to sort out. So yeah, Learning the wheel back behind Flair. It seems like he's got good pace as Learning the wheel, but he's just being involved in the battles, which is just mean he can't go up and attack the front 3, who we haven't mentioned at all this race. They're Visas leads by over 5 seconds. And MLA is a further 2.5 behind his teammate Sean. So yeah, the battle for 4th is definitely hotting up.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit of an understatement. I mean, the battle right there definitely is in the works as we speak. But you know, to the 10th lap in this thing, and Visas crossing the line.
Sean pits.
And Sean into the pits. So the gap was around 5-6 seconds of the time of when Sean pitted, and obviously MLA stays out. He's going to put on the soft tires. Interesting. So he's planning on staying out there till the end. See if it works out for him. Most likely should.
Yeah, 18 laps.
Now leads over.
Sorry, Alan. I was just going to say 18 laps is definitely doable on the softs. So is perhaps the front 2 going to try and go a little bit longer and fit the supers? We'll have to wait and see, but is this going to give Sean the chance to undercut Williams Bisas and perhaps, you know, maybe hold him up or something for his teammate as he gets a time penalty. He's definitely pushing on the outlap. And we've got Lawrence now at the back, right behind Rex. They're about to head into turn 1. This is a Sauber versus Toro Rosso. We're going to see a sling up the inside here. We are indeed. Lawrence does it. He gets the car slowed down. The Sauber tries to do the cutback. It looks like he is going to do it, and he's going to have the inside to the S's. Surely is Lawrence going to hold it on the outside? He doesn't quite able to, but fantastic racing from them both. And yeah, Rex up to 13th position after momentarily losing 1 place. Learning the wheel still close behind Flair, so really struggling with straight line speed, but we'll keep an eye on the top 2. What are they going to do? Is BSAS going to pit, or is he going to go on?
I think whatever he does, no, it's just going to try and do something different because, and BSAS into the pits. Will MLA do the same? Stays out. So yeah, he's going to try and get the overcut on him. I don't think it'll work, but rather try than do the same thing knowing that it won't work. That's sort of the thing that BSAS goes for. He tries to, really, MLA goes for something different than BSAS, and sometimes it works out for him. But,
yeah, comes BSAS.
Yeah, out of the pits, BSAS, soft tires. Same method of what Sean will be doing in this race. And, that gap between BSAS and Sean is much, much bigger than I imagined. Do you think there's a reason for that?
I'm not sure. Perhaps there was a mistake that was made, because it was, I think, 5 seconds, and he only gained a few tenths, 7 tenths on him on the outlap with a corner cut. So perhaps he made a mistake somewhere. Rex and Lawrence continued that battle all the way through the lap, so they were having a proper ding dong. And now we've got MLA, Flair, Learning the Wheel, and D90, the only drivers not to pit. Everyone else has come into the pits once, and so we'll expect the rest of the drivers to come in soon. Because they are all on ultra softs anyway, so yeah, perhaps they're going to try and stretch it to a super soft stint, but it'll be close.
Well, it definitely will be close, for sure. Lap 11, and looking to the field, not much going on. Closest battle I can imagine is Mally close to D90, but then again D90 is on the ultra softs compared to Mally in the soft tires.
James Slater on jaw. Heading into the final straight. James is going to look down the inside. DRS is open, cuts back to the outside to try and get a good exit, and is he going to be able to get the job done? Jaw's on the slower tyre but on the fresher tyre, so what can James Slater here do in the Renault? This is for 8th and 9th position. As you mentioned, Mally, Learning the Wheel, has just got Flair, so he's coming to the pits, that's why, and Flair's carried on. So is MLA pitted. So what is MLA? MLA's gone on to the softs, so he's chosen the same strategy but just to pit a little bit later. What's Learning the Wheel? Learning the Wheel's gone on to the supers, so does he think he can finish the race from there? If he does, he will be on a very quick tyre until the end of the race. And we can see D90 versus Mally heading into turn 1. Where's Learning the Wheel going to come out just in front of this?
Yeah, so it's going to be close. Learning the Wheel comes out right in front of Mally and D90. As you probably already know, Mally is already pitted. And Learn the Wheel also, and with field D90 put on these stops. Yeah, D90 and Flair are the only two to not pit in this field yet, and sort of surprised you. I thought they would have at least pitted by now.
BSAS is right on him.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, gets by him down the straight. Will he try and move, or just let him by? I would have at least tried to battle with him. I mean, get old teammate camaraderie. I would have at least tried to have some fun with him while he's in the lead. But the gap is pretty massive between first and third, so I would have at least tried to put on a show for the fans if I were Flair. But I just let some by, a little easy for him. But down in third is Sean, fourth MLA, fifth Learn the Wheel, sixth is SBL Mally, and yeah, like I said, D90 hasn't pitted yet. Started to work out for him, but he's starting to hold up James Slater and Jor. It's a 3-car train as we see right now.
Yeah, definitely
this lap
struggling on those tires, Alan.
Yeah, I don't think we should stay out there too much longer as Flair comes into the pits.
Surely D90 is going to follow him in. He's got a bad exit, and they're going to both. One goes down the inside, one's going to have him on the outside. Yeah, he's going to come into the pits, get rid of those ultras, and perhaps he will be able to make it work and go into the supers. That's a good strategy. Would have to go onto the soft tire. But it looks like Flair, what's he done? Yeah, Flair's gone on to the supers. So they stayed out longer, let them get themselves undercut. but they're going to be quick towards the end of the race, and yeah, that's going to be interesting to see as Jaw is all over the back of James. He's having a good race today, is Jaw.
Definitely, it's going to show like that towards the end. Lap 13 out of 28 D90s in. Some drivers are able to put on some super soft tires and be very close to them at the end. However, at the end, they'd have faster tires, and they'd be going faster at the end of the race like expected. But go down through the field. Now that everyone has made their first stint done and completed, and by the way, I wouldn't say first, Lawrence right now is on his 4th stint of the race, which I find hilarious. But let's do a little grid rundown as we are 13 laps in. It is Beast as Sean, MLA, Learning the Wheel, SBM, Ali Kekik, James Slater, George, Sam, Flair, and Cloudy Balloons rounding up the top 10. And actually, there's a pass between Flair and Sam. Flair making up no time and flies by. Repeat number 8. 10th is Cloudy Balloons. 11th, Rex, and it's D90, Enact, Lawrence, and then Black Mumbai rounding out the grid.
Alan, just to show you how much the undercut's worth, Flair was ahead of Learning the Wheel before he came into the pits, and now Flair is about, what, 4, 5, 7.5, 8 seconds behind him. So a few extra laps, and that's how much this cost him.
Yeah, definitely could cost him like that. And as we speak right now, going through the field, closest battle I see going on through the time is Jor in 7th place.
Yeah, he's in a DRS sandwich.
Yeah, a little less than a second off, so he has just enough time to squeeze into the DRS activation zone, which is some good news for him. I mean, obviously down the straight, not in the corners. You don't get DRS in the corners. I don't think that would work out too well for your car. Be more interesting of a race. Probably lose the back end much more often. But yeah, now you go with Flair. Flair is reeling in Jor massively. He's going to try to make a move down to the corner. And already he has the inside right before the corner. He's going to lunge it down to the inside. And misses the apex. Jor gets a switchback. They'll be wheel to wheel down the back straightaway. But Flair clears him for P7. Next he once again gets by James Slater. And he'll have a chance at battling his teammate for the top 5.
Yeah, Joel thinks about coming back down the inside. It's a late move, late move. That was a half-hearted move. And you have to say, Flair wouldn't have expected him to do that. And, you know, I don't think his car was far enough alongside to warrant any space. But he falls down the order because of that behind Sam. So, cost him a position, did that little half-hearted move. But he's back underway on those soft tyres, and of course he's still going to the end of the race. So yeah, as you mentioned, Flair getting the job done with those fresh super soft tyres. Lawrence gets himself another penalty. He's having a bad day at the office. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see Flair coming up to James Slater. DRS is going to be open, and he sets the fastest lap.
So cross the line. Like I said, good lap time. Enact 3-second time penalty. Gap between Sean and Beast is around 3.2 to 3.4 seconds. It's been changing in every different sector. It would go up to 3.4 all the way down to 3.2. Times between them are pretty constant, believe it or not. So actually, no one's really gaining or losing time. Just need to wait for a mistake for either one of those drivers, and we may see it unravel towards the second half of this race. We are halfway through the United States Grand Prix.
Flair going down the inside of James Slater, by the way. Sorry, Alan. Just gets the job done as D90 gets a 3-second penalty. So Flair liking that inside corner before the DRS zone to pick his move. And because he leaves it so late to get on the brakes, it actually gives him the DRS. And I think it helps him defend. So perhaps that's something he's picked up earlier in the race, and something that he realizes he can use to his advantage. But yeah, he's chasing his teammate down. And Sean, 3.2 seconds, I believe that is, behind BSAS. So perhaps he's closing him in a little bit. They're on the same straight, and 3.3. We'll keep an eye on that one and see whether it decreases. But D90 on the back of Rex now.
Yes, definitely between those two, it's starting to heat up. And with Rex, sort of a sticky situation. Every single move he tries to block, as now down to the inside D90. Oh, ever so close. Those two, head, nose, and tail, those two are still going at it. And it's not a yeah, running outside with Rex. Yeah.
And One goes deep, one goes wide there. Then one goes into the pits. So completely, yeah, all going all over the track. But yeah, Cloudy also in the pits. But look at Flair right on the back of his teammate now. And you have to say it's only a matter of time before the McLaren behind gives the other one a little wave as he goes past. Is he going to try the inside of this corner again, Alan?
He might. Let's go back up. And again, Flair and SBL so ever so close to each other. Down the back straightaway. DRS for the McLaren. Not Mally, but it's for Flair. This time Flair's going to be able to get by. No team orders involved. Sliding down into P5 goes Flair. Parks the bus on the corner.
Mally doesn't fight it too hard, I don't think.
Yep, just realizes that he's on the softer compound and he'll just try and take his time and finish the race on these things. Beast has crossing the line. 12 laps to go. And I think now in this race, we haven't talked about the points at all, the point situation, so why don't we do that right now? Beast has leads by 15 entering this thing.
Yeah,
second
so
is MLA, third is Sean.
He's going to extend that to a race win at this rate, Alan. So yeah, it just shows you that Beast he's just so reliable in that race car. You just know he's so dominant. I think it's the only word to describe him, Alan.
It feels like that every single round, just he needs to capitalize on it. Remember Singapore, we thought he was going to pull away and win. He pulled away, safety car came out, and he wasn't able to defend or capitalize on it. And it really costed him. And that's the reason why that points lead is where it's at right now. It could be a lot bigger, but with Beast mistakes along the way have limited him. So it's really a sick situation to look at for Beast as the gap now between him and Sean is 3.1 seconds. Gap is closing by 0.2 a lap, and 1 to 0.2 a lap. So not much for Sean to gain by, at least not enough to gain it towards the end of this race. But one mistake could help Sean pass Beast but again, it's still a hard thing to do as it stands right now. We are approaching the start-finish line. And we approach 11 laps to go. Beast still leads by 3 seconds.
And just got to remember, you're in that territory where if you get a penalty, of course it can cost you. 3 seconds isn't a lot, and if Beast were to get a penalty, he would be beginning to feel a little bit of sweat. But I have a feeling Sean got one earlier in the race. What's going to happen, do you think, between Sean and MLA? If it stays like this to the last lap, will Sean slow down and let his teammate through, who's 7.5 seconds behind at this stage, or will he finish second? I mean, he needs all the points he can get right now, surely. And yeah, it'll be really interesting to see exactly what he does. But yeah, fantastic race. 2.7 seconds down now, so he's getting the gap down. James is keeping it close, 1.2 behind Mally, just hovering outside the DRS zone. So that's another interesting one. Rex is closing in on Etiquette, so 1.4 between those two. And yeah, this has been another great advert for us, Alan, at F1 TS Hub, and fantastic racing here again tonight in the Pinnacle tier. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the like button if you're enjoying the race, and head over to Twitter at F1 TS Hub. We got full race updates going on over there, and www.f1tshub.com. Lots going on the website. Post-race thoughts. The steward's office will be open, and you can also check out our merch and loads of other cool stuff about the league.
And speaking about the social side, I'd like to say thank you everybody so much for 200 followers on Twitter. You know, with F1 TSF, they've been around for so long, and it's fantastic that we've